If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, the Innkeeper, and this is our live call and talk show all about the Wheel of Time. And tonight, yes, as you see right at the bottom of the screen there, a little handy-dandy news ticker that says, Min's viewings spelled incorrectly. By the way, that's what totally bugged me. So right at this moment, before Taylor leaves, hey, Taylor, don't go anywhere. We're going to change that because that's going to totally irritate me like all evening long, everybody. That's just what happens. This is live. We are live right now, and we're going to talk about this, but not with that misspelling. That's just not going to happen. So that being said, while I correct that misspelling, how about I welcome my two guests who do be laughing that you heard behind there. Yes, welcome to the Dusty Wheel, Vance, and it do be Beth. Beth, welcome. This is your first time here at the Dusty Wheel. How are you feeling?
It is. I'm a little nervous, I'm not going to lie, but I'm super excited.
I get that. It goes away. It happens to me too. It goes away, I would say, in the first 5 or 10 minutes. Especially,
I think we should talk about viewings tonight.
Hey, we should talk about
viewing.
Maybe I shouldn't have brought you guys on yet. That's what I should have waited.
Yeah,
that's what it should have been.
First.
I'm recognizing that now, but it's too late. We are going to talk about viewings. Has there been any other news, Vance, that you've heard about that before we jump into Min's viewings that you think is pretty remarkable? Recently, perhaps.
Well, we did just get some Varan news within the last week, and all of that has just been taking Twitter and all of the fandom spaces by storm, and I have to admit it's pretty exciting. Unfortunately, I missed the initial drop of her costume reveal because I was busy tearing out the stairs and replacing them in my house.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people were like on Mother's Day, even as far as the little clip, because not only did we find out who Varan was, but we got a new clip, if you will. So we're gonna I have to talk about this because I don't know. I'm the only I shouldn't say the only one, but I'm among a small group of people that thinks there's something really interesting of note on that little, I don't know what you call it, monocle or looking glass, whatever it is that Varan's wearing. So we're going to chat with that. Taylor, I just sent it over to you. Do you want to? So Taylor's gonna fix that viewings here.
So
for
no more
us
viewings.
Shortly. Yeah, so we're gonna go.
Oh, wow.
Let me jump to chat. How's chat doing so far? They seem like they're hearing us. Everything is like working. I'm seeing the chat, and I had a poll to start this off. 120 of you vote on this. Do you like how Min's viewings were visually shown to us in season 1? So while Taylor fixes this, why don't we talk about this poll for you before I end this poll, Beth? There's a lot of ways they could have gone about this. Do you like the way that they show us not only the viewings themselves, but how she kind of gets into like a right? Viewing mode, if you will. Look at that magic, by the way. It's now viewings. Men's viewings, everybody.
Absolute magic. Gotta love it.
Viewings.
Cheers. I need like a little cheers thing for Taylor. Taylor, thank you very much for being with us. Oh, and before you go, everyone always like, are we going to do a mug giveaway? Or can you set that, remind me how to set that up? Taylor's still here. Look, guys.
Love you, Taylor.
So while Taylor sets that up for later, everyone, if you want to stick around, there is a giveaway at the very end. Yeah, Beth, how do you feel about the way that the men's viewings have been, visually shown to us?
I think they did a pretty good job with it. It was actually one of the things I liked the most in regards to episode 7. I like how we didn't get full on views of every single one of them. Like in some of them, we just saw like colors happening and it wasn't like direct on, but contextually, I think it was probably easy for people who hadn't read the books to understand that she has this extra seer like ability. So I think they did a pretty good job with it.
Yeah, they it was one of those kind of like we're still wondering how the wolves are going to speak with Perrin. But it's one of those where I was like, I don't know, this could be, but I actually, I genuinely think it worked really well. Vance, are you on the same page? Do you think it works well, or do you hope they see them actually modify it? Make it better, like they talked about making channeling, like they're trying to improve that. Do you hope this is one of the effects that they also work on?
So I admit that I think it works well, what they did for sure. But I was a little disappointed because her viewings don't necessarily show people doing actions or holding objects so concretely as we got in the show. They tend to be like she sees colors around people. She sees sometimes an object floating around their head or something like that. Maybe she'll see them with an injury. We like saw a little bit more than that, and it was presented in different ways. And I didn't really care for the like effects on it, but at least I think it did get it across for non-readers and helps them understand the concept of what men's abilities are. Ultimately, that's the most important part. For me, I'm nitpicking because I read the books and I can nitpick, and show watchers haven't and they won't. So
and I can nitpick, yes. Well, by the way, Taylor set me up here. Everyone fixed the viewings out there, and I saw some people are just arriving. We're talking all about how they've shown us men's viewings, if you will, on the screen. So 132 of you voted. Let me end this. 91% of you actually do like how it's been shown. Some opinionated people. Perfect. Thanks. So 91%, that's pretty good. As far as, and I want to just remind everybody, as far as what's coming up to us today, next week, we just talked about Varan. And so I feel like we have to, right, we have to have another Becoming Varan show. That's right. If you come back next week, we'll be talking about Becoming Varan. And we're talking about Mira Sial, her career, her works, and whether or not we think that she will embody this character. A lot of people have already said, yes, we think she will, right? If you don't know what we're talking about, let me show you this clip. This is a nice, you're going to hear some audio there that's the BAFTA Awards, everyone, where this happened. She received, I think it was a Lifetime Award, if I'm not mistaken, correct? And they were talking about kind of some things that she's done. So let me, you'll hear a little bit about that, and I'll get the little clip. It's only 2.7 seconds long, everybody. So blink and you'll miss it. But yeah, enjoy this.
Full film. Mira's career is continuing to go from strength to strength with The Wheel of Time and Mrs. Sidhu Investigates.
The Wheel of Time there. That's right. That's all we got, everybody. that dropped out of the blue on Mother's Day. And that did cause a lot of kind of like, wait, what? This is the first viewing of Varan. What did you think, Beth? You saw Varan, or Mira Sial as Varan, and what were your thoughts?
I thought first of all, I knew that's who Varan was going to be as soon as they mentioned her. Like I was in the camp of that's Varan 100%. Okay. And I love it. And I really think actually, because she kind of she looks very young in the face. And so I think giving her the gray hair kind of pushes forward that Aes Sedai agelessness that we haven't really necessarily seen so far, because most of the actresses that have been representing I have been on the younger side of middle age, so to speak. So to have somebody who is a little bit older looking amazing and having her with the white wig really kind of brings forward that they look young, that ageless feature. And I just need to say the fact that Olivia Colman mentioned the Wheel of Time, she knows what the Wheel of Time is. That's like amazing because it's Olivia Colman. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, again, hopefully, from a costuming standpoint, they've talked about this. Hopefully we see some upgrades, if you will, to the set designs and such. And yeah, we had a lot of theories. We've pretty much tied this, unless you believe that the entire back wall here is being reused in another city. This is Tarvalon, which you can believe that's fine. But this is Tarvalon, and she's also looks to be sitting on some kind of horse, or she's sitting on something. She's higher above the ground than people that were walking by. That's one of the things that we figured out. There is something that I kind of obsessed about a little bit. I mean, I've been known to obsess about things.
Really, you obsessing about things?
I know.
Never.
I know. And I don't really like to let this one go. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. There's sometimes I obsess about things that I don't like to let go.
Really? Again, I'm shocked.
It is a shocking thing. So one of these happens to be this image right here. And let me show it to you. And what you're thinking is like, yeah, there's something hanging off of her dress there, and people have called it like a monocle. You can kind of see it looks like to be a glass in the middle. Yep. And I noted, if you look with me, everyone, right at the top of this, there seems to be something that's not just part of the rest, right? It's this indentation, if you will, or this beveling of something. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just the way I saw this, right? Everyone sees things differently. I saw a fox head right here, like 2 eyes, a nose, and 2 ears right behind there.
I could see it.
And then I saw like 2 more ears potentially up here and kind of superimposed over each other. Now, other people were like, no, it looks like a mouse. Or
I see a bird trawling.
It looks like a leaf. I guess it could be like a woman with her arms here with a flowing dress potentially, and then like her feet here. Look, you can see whatever you want to see in that. But I don't know. Immediately I thought maybe they're kind of hitting us up with a Teron Grail, so maybe they're alluding to some of these things we've seen before. I took this nicer view of the BAFTA. I don't know if this helps clarify this issue at all, but yes, everyone, we're going to do some zooming in. That's right.
Nice.
That's what we
it.
do.
Let's do it. Enhance.
So I don't know. Like, what do you see? What do you see there on that screen? And that's what I'm going to ask everybody. I haven't been watching chat, so I have no idea if they're having fun with this or not. But I would say, what do you see at the top of this? We're going to call it a monocle, everybody. I'm not sure.
Bird trollic.
We're going to call this. Okay, so some people like me, maybe see a fox head. Some people have seen a mouse. Some people have seen like a leaf of some sort. Some people think.
How come nobody has said How come no one said the Flame of Tarvalon yet? Just asking, because I think that's also a strong candidate as well.
What is that flame of? You think the Flame of Tarvalon there?
It could be embossed on there.
Okay. So let's say we're gonna say like an animal head. We're gonna say leaf, person, animal. Like, what do we call it? Leaf. Give me a category. Leaf isn't a great category. Like natural
foliage.
I don't know if I spelled that right. Person, or we are seeing things. How about that? Let's ask everyone. What do you see at the top of this monocle? I like badger, wolf. People have said all sorts of things. What is there? And is it anything of note, honestly? Okay, that was just a fun thing. I had to, like that. You know how this rolls. This is just something we have to do. We weren't going to move on from this until I had a chance to show you what I found. And while we're doing that, I don't know if you happened to be here. It was last week. Did you guys see this, Beth? Do you remember that when this happened? Let me see. 1 second. Okay. Do you remember when we got this?
It's the full. I did not see this.
Yep.
I'm gonna admit I did not see this.
So
last week.
this was like 2 weeks ago, I think, or a week and a half ago. There was an image that was posted to the internet, and this happened to be behind the individual who was taking the image. And a lot of zooming happened.
A lot of zooming happening.
Lots
of zooming.
Right? Like, let's just zoom in because we can, right? Like everybody.
Yes, I did. Actually, I did see. I saw the zoomed
So
in.
you're going to recognize
zoom,
some of these
Yeah.
faces already. You're going to recognize some of these faces.
Yep.
Rosamund Pike, Daniel Henney. I think we have Marcus Rutherford here. Obviously,
Yep.
Yosha, Madeline. This looks like Kate.
Zoe up
We
there in the
have-
top next
right,
to Daniel.
Priyanka. Yeah, exactly. You can recognize some of these. In fact, all the sleuths out there decided to do us a favor and post one that had, the names of the individuals that we could see. So if you, again, have seen this image, and this one kind of makes me laugh because I'm sure for everyone, maybe that's a part of the crew, whatever it is, they see something like this and they're like, they recognize themselves, like whoever the people are that don't have names are like, oh my gosh, I'm so you know what I mean? Like, but all of us are going like, unless we've seen you in something, right? Like it feels like these should be recognizable, but to all of us that are like, well, I don't know. I've never seen you maybe in something, or I can't make it out of the blur here of who you are.
Well, it needs the thing is, it needs a little bit more JPEG there, Matt. It's just very lossy, and we need to make it more lossy. So let's recompress it.
So, and there is one more view of this, as somebody brought it up in chat. Thank you very much. Oh, did I not send myself? I'll do it. I'll do it just for the sake of, being complete about this whole thing. I will add that image, and we'll take a look at it. This one has actual images it has clear images so you can see them. So let me open this one up for you all. Yes, here you go. There is it a little bit easier. A little bit easier to kind
clean.
of like
Very clean.
So nice job.
Like it.
Someone brought this up. This was from the Wikia, if I'm not mistaken. Is that am I misremembering? Who
I
this came
don't
from?
recall.
The Wiki of Time tweet.
So they basically just superimposed the photos they know they used for the people they know, and they kept blurry the ones of the people that they don't know.
As you can tell,
smart.
A lot of TBA still.
Yeah.
And a lot of a number of ones here that we don't know just yet. And
why does Alexander Guillaume right there look like Michael Fassbender? Totally looks like Michael Fassbender in that picture.
I like.
Sorry.
Who's number 8? These are all out of name. Who's number 35? But yes, this is some of the fun we're having while we wait for more things to come.
And look at the representation in all of that. Look at all of the representation of people of color and everything. It's amazing. I love the casting so much.
You would believe that of Robert Jordan's world, right?
Right.
Correct.
As in,
correct.
That's the world we've all been reading for the last 30 years. So that's what you'd hope to see, and I'm glad that we're seeing it for sure. By the way, the poll that I have up here, what do you see at the top of this? Monocle. Animal got 27%. I know. We are few.
It's a 13%.
13% was foliage. 4% was a person, and the large majority of you think we're seeing things. So, look, I get it. Some of you bring up the fact that there was a person standing next to Loyal in a screenshot that we zoomed in on, and I could see, and you're like, there's no person there. And then in the show, a lot of you during that episode made sure to tell me they didn't see a person. I would like to note something. FX, that's right. They can take people out of those so they don't show the person who's clearly holding him up on a horse, because all the actual weight of that costume has to make sure he does not fall. There's a person holding him up there, and they took him out with FX, and none of you like to humor my beliefs there.
You're just waiting for vindication with those BTS scenes for that one, aren't you?
That's totally. Yeah. Was there a person holding up Loyal on the horse that was removed with FX? And we're going to say yes, no.
Yes.
I don't know what you are talking about is the other option there, everyone. That's right. We're going to ask our community here. Or how about this? What are you talking about? That's correct. That was in episode, I think episode 6.
Yes. At the end.
Yeah, there we go.
Now, as your co-author of like
Okay.
55,000 things you missed in the teaser trailers or
Yes.
whatever we wrote
Yes.
back then, I definitely agree with you. There was a person in that picture because we stared at that for like 30 minutes one night.
We
going,
did.
It's a person. We zoomed in. We enhanced. We used all sorts of whatever sharpening filters we could that were available.
It was a horse leg. Ugh, man. Like I just. There. Thank you very much, Dana Lou. I adore your conviction. I appreciate that. That's right, Elfwitch. Pull on its way. Correct. Oh, this is a great theory from Miss Sarah James. Thank you very much. Steve was holding him up. Steve
Perfect.
the Ogier.
Yep.
That makes actually a ton of sense that Steve was
Perfect.
part of that scene. Now, Joe, I take this a little bit offensively, Joe. I take this a little bit offensively, but it's fine. It's fine. We've been friends long enough that I won't hold too much of a grudge for that. Okay. I think that's it. We've covered basically all the theories that I had from season 1, which was there was a person standing next to Loyal. All the theories I have for season 2, which is there's a fox head something symbol at the top of this monocle Teron Grail or Ma'on Grail or Termonic Grail. I don't know how you say it.
Termonic Grail. I like it.
We know we're talking about Varan next week. That's right. Let's get to the subject, which we're a half an hour in. So it's not like we've been doing other things. Let's talk about men's viewings. Let's do this. This is going to be a lot of fun, everybody. So the way this is going to work, we're going to actually show the clips. And we're going to pause those clips and come back to them and talk about basically what is the viewing that men had? What do we all believe it is? And are these viewings directly going to be tied to exactly what happens in the books? Or do we anticipate there's something different? And is there a viewing here that isn't exactly as it is, or some new viewing? And do we believe it's already been done? Are we going to show up in season 2, or where are we going to see it in the show? Anyone have any questions about how that's going to move forward? Beth, you ready for this?
Bring it. Let's go.
Bring it. That's right.
go.
Bring it. I love
Let's
it.
go.
So let me get us to our first here. That's right. And you'll hear it before you see it here, everyone. 1 second.
I mean, if we revealed what you were, you'd be hounded every minute of the day.
Oh, Moiraine.
Always.
The big brooding one has.
They're both big. And they both brood.
I love that.
The one on the left has yellow eyes, blood running down his chin.
There it is. Yellow eyes and blood running down his chin, everybody. What could this possibly be referring to? That is what we're going to discuss right now. Yellow eyes. Yellow eyes. I'm Beth. I'm going to come for you on this one. You're new here. So yellow eyes. Perrin's yellow eyes. What do you think this viewing relates to?
Gee, maybe because he's a wolf brother?
That's possible. I think that's a very good possibility.
I mean, just
No.
maybe.
That's not possible. But
No.
the blood running down his chin, I think, is the more interesting question here. So let's dig into that one. Vance, blood running is down his chin. What is your kind of interpretation? Do you remember anything like that from the books, first of all? And then if you don't, are you quickly going to Google search it? And then if you don't Google search it, are you going to theorize something for us of what blood running down the chin might be?
So from the books, we do recall Perrin often had many instances where he was worried he would lose himself to the wolf. And he does run with the wolves in the dream at various points, even going on a hunt with them to chase down a deer in the dream. Could, you could be basic and say, oh, that's what that represents. But I think it's more of going to represent probably all of the bloodshed he's going to be involved in, both past and present moving forward, because Perrin is actually at the forefront of a number of battles within the book series, and he has some berserker rage that he's known for. We've even seen it in episode 1 of the show. They've already pulled that out of the hat. That was not as, I think, evident as early in the books as they brought it down into the show. But Perrin gets scary at some points. I mean, I think it's just some good foreshadowing that he's not going to be the kind of quiet and very, traumatized person he is now. He is going to move past his trauma, and he's going to probably work past it in some unhealthy ways as he moves forward in the series before he eventually is able to pull back and reclaim some of himself before his winter night incident.
Okay. I think that's a good summation of this tying into the overall concept of violence, right? And how he feels about that. His Knuckle Chut said in chat, yeah, pretty clear illustration of his central conflict.
Yep.
Hybrid Havoc, tongue in cheek, said he's going to bite his tongue really bad. And I do like this comment. Do bears have yellow eyes? Yes. Great question, Shannon. That is no, but this could be right. I've seen some comments about Valda, Whitecloaks. You could jump into the end of book or beginning of the Dragon Reborn, right? Where he doesn't he experience that kind of young bull moment, where he almost feels like, and he's out there. I think it does talk about him actually. Now I have to go back and read it.
When they're in the bowl place where they've been hankering down for the winter, and the wolves have been trying to tell him that Trollocs are coming for all winter. They've been like, and he's ignoring them and he's pushing them out of his mind. And finally he realizes that, and he kind of loses himself in the heat of the battle. And he did that even in book 1 in the Eye of the World, when they were in the steading and they encountered the Whitecloaks for the first time. He lost himself in that moment because he killed 2 men because they killed Hopper. And so it's been very prevalent early in his story arc, not episode 1 in his story arc, but I do agree with Vance that it's going to be kind of like a summation of what we're going to see him go through, to develop his character in the later seasons.
So I'm seeing a ton of comments. Let me end this poll because I think we're going to come back to things you guys have said. This one is and that's why it was funny, because I knew the yellow eyes were going to be like, we're going to take very long. But this is an interesting question. And I love how like Moiraine's just like, not that interested. She's like, cool. Yeah. Keep going. Tell me more things. And maybe we'll come back to it. By the way, 120 of you voted on the last poll. Was there a person holding up Loyal on the horse in episode 6 that was removed with FX? 95% of you said yes. And we're not going to end that poll. We're just going to... No, I'm just kidding.
You're going to leave it there hanging as validation.
20% of you said yes, which honestly, 20% of you, I don't know if that's because you're just being kind. If I have suggested something that actually made you feel like... I think that's more people that actually believed me at the time since that episode. So I'm going with it. About 40% said no. And 40% of you said, what are you talking about? There's an episode of Dusty Wheel you need to go back and watch, I think. So I'm seeing a lot of this idea of Perrin killing people again. I saw a comment from Miss Sarah James that I thought was really key here. Let me see if I can find that. This one, yeah. Even better point when you realize he was talking about the Tinkers and pacifism with Rand at that point.
Good call out. Good call out.
So I agree.
Miss Sarah James, brilliant as usual.
By the way, I know before Village Mattress brings this up in chat, or I just missed it when he did. So that's right, everybody. This is a live call and talk show. You can give us a call at 1-313-TALK-WATT or 1-313-825-5968. And no, this isn't happening in Detroit, which is what sometimes people call. It just happened to be the number that had TalkWatt available as its final 7 letters. That's right. So if you'd like to give us a call, we'll weave you into the conversation that we're having tonight for the next hour. Plus, as we talk about these, you might be waiting 5, 10, 20 minutes. That's just how this works. But feel free if you want to, tell us what you're thinking. There's a lot here. It's kind of hard to pull everything out of... Oh, wow. By the way, let me remind everybody, full book spoilers before we go on. It's been on the screen the entire time. Hopefully you know that. We are going to be talking about conflicts and how these things, plots, arc over the books, if you will, and what we learn about those characters. And so we will be not trying to spoil the entire books for you, but we will be talking about character arcs, which could spoil those arcs for you all the way to the end. And with that, I like Light Blinded Fools. Maybe that's his second wife's blood. Too soon? Yes. It is too soon. So yeah, do you think that this is actually, could this actually be not related to his like blood related to the wolf themselves? Could this be some form of the Shan-Chan? Perhaps we see him like he's almost being held back in some of the season 2 trailers. It almost seems like the Shan-Chan are beating on people at that night in that one scene that we've seen. Do you think is it reasonable to say violence taken out on Perrin, not necessarily violence Perrin takes out on others? Do you think that that's possible, or do you think it's too tied into the fact that he's going to come into his wolf connection, and that they're really signaling that they're going to kind of dig into this idea that he fights now, this idea of becoming a wolf?
I think it's probably a combination of both. There's going to be some, because we're going to continue to see Perrin's struggle with his battle with violence, for lack of a better term. He's evidently going to have to encounter wolves again to fully understand what's happening to him, or an Elias is going to come in and kind of like guide him the way he did in the Eye of the World. And there's going to be a tipping point. There's going to be something that happens where the restraint that Perrin has shown as a result of his killing Layla in the first episode, that's been restraining, that's been holding him back. Something's going to happen to make him unleash the wolf, literally and figuratively. So it's probably a combination of both. He's going to take a lot of crap, and then he's going to hit his tipping point, and he's going to be like, nope, we're done here. Here we come.
I'm going to add this poll, and we'll talk about a little bit more here. We have one caller waiting. We'll probably move on to the next one. But if that caller just calling about this, they can certainly make a point of it when we have them join us. So what is blood running down his chin referring to? We're going to put the violence he does, the violence done against him, something else. Is there any other options you would like us to poll the audience here? All of the above?
His lip.
He bit his lip, or the food he will eat.
All of the above. No, I hate those options. Yeah. Those are too weak. The violence he does, the violence done against him. Close enough, everybody. Fit that in here. Yep. Something else. We'll ask everybody. Okay, that was a fun one to actually conceive of. Before we move on from here, though, quick vote from you, Beth. Are we going to see this violence, this moment that we see this happen in season 2, or do you think season 3, or we'll just see it consecutively until he kind of comes to the other side of that conflict?
It's going to have to be in season 2. He was too restrained in season 1, in my opinion. They held him back too much in season 1. I know that it's hard to take that internal dialogue that Perrin does a lot of in the early books, but to really have him be relatable and his character arc to be relatable on screen, I really think they're going to have to do it in season 2. I don't think they can hold back. That might be like the ending of season 2 for him and the guilt that he's going to feel from that, but season 2 for sure.
Yeah. And by the way, I love this. Melissa KJ said, violence seems to follow him, as in it could have been the third option, the violence that follows him, which is a good point too. And again, maybe it'll be a little bit of everything. I like Andrew Berenson said, blood calls blood. That's right.
Love it.
That's a good connection
one
there. Okay. And to you, Vance, my question is, do you want to see him go full wolf, young bull here? Like the idea of actually seeing him be violent from a kind of a wolf-like way, if you will, with his body, right? Like they talked about ripping the throat out of, do you think you want to see that them kind of take this to that degree to kind of create this idea of like, whoa, this is something he has to get under control? Or would you rather they don't go to that extreme?
I kind of think it makes sense if they have him go to that extreme, because he hasn't really done anything intense since episode 1 of season 1. I mean, let's just be honest. He's been too traumatized to do much. So I really think he's going to have a tipping point in season 2. And I think it will be, like you stated in the question, it will be probably more of a wolf out because his minor wolf out we got in season 1 was a little bit lame. It was a little, it's okay.
You're talking about wait, you're talking about episode 1?
No,
Episode 5.
season
Okay.
1.
Okay,
Yeah,
season 1.
one.
I was like,
episode
one.
5 or 6, isn't that? Or what episode is that? When he has Valda
Oh,
as the
Valda
queen?
is episode 5.
Episode
It
5.
is episode 5, right? Yeah.
It's episode 5. But
Okay.
yeah, I just want to see him do that. And I mean, we know that there, at least in the books, there's a confluence of multiple forces for the culmination of the end of book 2. And I'm thinking if the Whitecloaks are present when that culmination happens, they may not be, we don't know for sure. But if they are, that gives them the perfect opportunity to reintroduce his beef with the Whitecloaks even further by actually killing a few during those encounters. Because he didn't really do that in season 1, and he doesn't have any driving other than Valda being scared of him. He doesn't have any driving factor of like the Whitecloaks at all, or any other Whitecloak would hate him. So it could be he accidentally ends up killing, Jeffrey Bornhold at some point, right? So
Yeah.
that could be how they factor that whole storyline in. So I definitely think it's got to be season 2. And I think with Elias there, that will kind of be the point where he can get maybe, Elias can be like, look, he's going to need he's like me. He's got to have some guidance a little bit more intensely. So that's just my take on it.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the next one, and then we'll bring our first caller in here. Let's get this going. We'll back up a little bit, and we'll do this each time, kind of.
The one on the left has yellow eyes, blood running down his chin. And the redhead is rocking a baby.
Whose baby?
No idea, looks like any other baby.
And the girls.
Okay, here we go. Whose baby? Rocking the baby. So, I mean, this is whose baby? I love that. So this is a great question for us. And the redhead is rocking a baby. That's right. The redhead's rocking a baby. Beth, this do be your question. Is this the baby? Can anyone tell me in chat? Because I was totally going to look this up. Actually, while we were live, I planned to look this up, and then I just have not. Does anyone recall, is this what the baby looks like that's at the end of episode 1? Are you throwing us a line here? Beth, do you know? Have you ever kind of gone and seen it?
Because when I first saw this, because Min takes a drink right when she sees this, right? She takes a sip of her drink. I personally think this is a viewing of him holding their baby.
Ooh, you think this is them holding their baby? Okay.
But then episode 8 happened, and he had the visions, and there was the child that he supposedly had with Egwene. And I don't know if it's the same baby. I never got so far into it, but because Min knows that she is destined to be with Rand. And I just think that she knows, and that's why she says she seems very curt when she's answering Moiraine, and she takes a stiff drink very quickly. I think it's Min's baby with Rand. That's my own personal opinion.
Okay, and it's interesting. I am live right now looking at the screen, and I'm like, I can't, the way that they have this built, I can't just take a quick screenshot.
I mean, I don't know. It could be the baby that was in episode 8. And when I saw the baby in episode 8, I was like, but I'm going to hold true to my heart's desires.
Right.
And say that is Min's baby with Rand. That's my guess.
Same baby, but a little younger. Some people are saying the child in episode 8 was much older. Same baby to me. It's similar. You are not the father. So yeah, this is I don't know that I've taken a look. It looks like I know this is gonna. I feel like the clothing is where we kind of can try to match this up a little bit from the side. It does look like it could be, but let's. Vance, are you assuming this is just referencing, like we're getting a viewing that's just referencing what's happening, like literally, just the next episode of what Rand's gonna walk into?
So Wild Gardenia in chat just added me and said, episode 8, minute mark, 24 minutes, 8 seconds. The sleeves match the baby in the vision.
24, what was it? 24 what?
2408. 2408. They're not the same. They are not, probably not the same actor, right? Because there's an age difference between the two, if I recall. But if the clothes are the same, then it's got to be it, right?
Yeah, I feel like if they're doing the same clothing, then whether or not they had to swap out the exact baby itself.
I was trying to find my episodes that I have banked and clips, and I can't find them. So,
yeah, the clothing does actually. We can do this. We'll do this later. Everyone will kind of try to verify. I can see the arm. Yeah, the clothing looks like it matches. I'm going to go with. I didn't do this look before, but I'm going with the clothing matches. It's the same baby.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think it's foreshadowing Rand's, season 1 finale.
Okay,
which is utterly depressing because Min deserves happiness with Rand too.
I mean, but we've got multiple seasons to get there, Beth. We don't have to get it right now. We don't have to get there now.
Okay, so the I'm going to end this poll, by the way. 120 of you just about have voted on this one. What is the blood running down his chin referring to? The violence he does, the violence done against him, something else. 83% believe it's going to have to do with the violence he does. And I'm not... I agree with Melissa KJ here, which is, if it's the same clothing, which it does appear to be. If someone wants to try to prove it's not, send me a note. I'll try to bring it into the show. You'll have to send it on Twitter. That's the best way to send it to me as far as like a screenshot. But I'm going to say, yeah, I agree with this comment that is directly tied. Beth, if there was anything else this is tying to, what would you tie this to? I mean, the ways Min's viewings work, it's not going to be, as far as I recall, I don't recall anything where she sees... Does she see a viewing that I thought has 2 possible interpretations? Isn't there one like that? But then there was one with
Gawain, I think, where.
But it's like a split.
Oh, maybe
path
that was a
kind of
Queen's
thing,
dream.
right? I didn't think there was one where it like has multiple progressive meaning over time that's different than one to the other.
Well, there was the one with Logain where it changed when Suan and the first time she sees the crown of glory over his head, because that wasn't always there, and then
so something new happened. Yeah,
something new happens and it changes, but I don't think there's ever been like more than one option, so to speak.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say, is this the same baby as Rand, or same baby being referenced as Rand sees at the end of episode 8? That's Joya, right?
So my question for that would be, what would the purpose of that vision be? What would the purpose of that vision be? Her seeing Rand,
the redhead rocking a baby,
that's not going to actually ever exist. What is the purpose of that vision?
Well, I think because Rand looks really happy holding that baby, and it's going to be the choice he has to make between his happiness and someone else's
saving
agency.
The world.
Yeah.
Okay.
And everyone else. So, I mean, I think they illustrated that point pretty well in episode 8. His decision and everything there thematically, how it plays out. So
yeah, I can see that.
The same baby. So I'm going to ask us: is the baby in the viewing representing the baby at the end, or the baby that Rand sees in his vision? I guess in episode 8. How would you call that? In his Ishi vision. How about that? There we go. Yes or no. That's as close as we're going to get, everybody, on that. And it does look like someone sent me a screenshot. That's a good screenshot there. So let me, have that over here, everybody. So
let's do it. Let's put it on the screen.
Let's do it. Yeah. Right. We gotta do it now that we have this.
It's just going to clarify what I know that I don't want to know. I mean, I knew it as soon as episode 8 happened and we saw the baby. I was like, oh, it's not Min's baby.
I got it. It's not Min's baby. I got
living in my own plausible deniability right now.
That's weird. Twitter's
There's
being weird
there's
with
a
me right now.
Chat, I just want to say
there's
I see a lot of good answers in here, and I'm just nodding like, yes.
When you say a lot of good answers, you mean in the
chat.
sense of different answers than we're coming up with, or
no, not necessarily. So Knuckle Chuts just threw one out there that was pretty good. If you want to throw that up on screen, I thought, but
the red herring comment?
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's a red herring. It's meant to make you think of the temptation from a Shamael, but it just foreshadows that Rand survives the whole thing and has offspring. Ooh, look at that. Yeah.
I like that.
I like that's a deep dive
that's a
answer.
good
I certainly think you can say that Jordan, as the writer, was using it to foreshadow differently than he was having the mechanics work in the books from the person. So I do think you can get multiple meanings in that way. And so I would agree with that. By the way, here is the image. Thank you very much.
Yep.
My fellow innkeeper sent it over. You can kind of see these arms on the one, and you see this the striping a bit.
Cute baby.
I think it's pretty clear. I think that's it. So let's bring in our first caller, everybody. They've been waiting a while. Let's welcome them to the show. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Great Innkeeper, as always. I raise my glass to you, sir.
Norm. Good to see you, man. Cheers.
Hello, Vance, buddy. Dude,
hey.
What's up, man?
Yo, how's it
raise
been?
my glass to you, sir. One day at a time. And everyone in chat, what's up?
What's going on, Norm? What have we gotten right, or what have we gotten wrong?
Well, so far, I agree with you on the baby being the whole foreshadowing of the last episode. I mean, that's pretty clear, I think. Okay. But you guys are completely wrong on the yellow eyes. Obviously, it's Perrin getting zapped by gamma radiation and turning into the Incredible Hulk. I mean, come on, dude. You know? You know, I mean, that's clearly what it is. So, you know, don't get me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. So, I mean, you know, it's what it is. God, I'm dating myself on that, aren't I?
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're fine. You're fine.
No, you're not. I promise you,
Right,
you're not.
Norm.
You ever make it to one of these cons, Norm? That's a good Looney Theory jump off point right there. I like it.
It's definitely what it is.
As a fan of Lou Ferrigno, you're not dating yourself. I promise you.
Hey, Norm, I'm going to have you. You're going to be on here with us to do the next one, and I'm going to go to you first for your comment here. So we're going to move on from this one, everyone. The poll, by the way, on this has been up for just 3 minutes. 100 of you or so have voted. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. Hope you're having a good time tonight. We're just chill, talking Wheel of Time, TV show, men's viewings. That's a lot of fun. So is the baby in the viewing representing the baby that Rand sees in his Ishii vision in episode 8? 70% of you say yes. There's still a good 30% of you that are on the no side of this. Okay. Let's jump on to the next one here. Right, here we go. The next one, like I said, we'll hear a little bit from this one
Redhead
first.
is fucking a baby.
Whose baby?
No idea. Looks like any other baby.
And the girls?
White flame. And a ring of gold. I don't know.
White flame and a ring of gold. By the way, before we tackle white flame and a ring of gold, I need to go back to something you just said, Vance, right at the beginning of that last one that I didn't really cover, that I want to now, because it's so funny. It's like on point with what happens here when I'm doing a new reader thing. People are like, so what do you think? Do you think that Lanfear X? And I'm like, yeah, that's a great question, right? She has this moment. Let's go back and watch that again, because it totally, she can lie to Aes Sedai. That's not a thing. So let's just watch this one more time, because I think this is fantastic. All I'm saying is Sister Sips is what I'm saying.
Whose baby?
No idea. Looks like any other baby.
That's why I thought it was her baby. That's why I thought it was her baby.
No idea.
That's exactly.
No idea. Goes for the sip. Boom. Like looking away.
Sip.
Gotta
Yep,
like hold on. Let's. Yeah, no idea. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Tell me what else you want. Okay. So we got to ask everybody that. I got to ask. Here
is it Min's baby? Yes
was
or no?
Min? Because no, it's not that it's Min's baby. She says some. What is she? Moiraine says.
Whose baby?
Whose baby? No idea. Okay. Did Min
It's Min's
know
baby.
whose baby it was? Yes or no? That's right, everybody. Like Innkeeper Anna said, Innkeeper Hatch did it first. That's right. That's right. Thank you. Okay, Norm, we're going to jump to you. White Flame. Moiraine says, and the girls. We're assuming White Flame and Ring of Gold here. I don't remember them showing us the White Flame and Ring of Gold, right? We don't see the viewing, if you will, over their heads. We just see like So White Flame, Norm, who does that have to do with, and what does it mean?
I've been looking at chat, and I have to agree with a couple of people. The White Flame might be the representation of what Egwene does at the end with the antithesis of balefire. That sounds like a really good theory. I like that. That sounds pretty good. I don't know why she would foreshadow something so far ahead, but that does track.
Yep.
I love the White
like
Flame.
that.
Yeah, I love that we want to believe that the White Flame is the flame of Tar-Valon, right? Yeah. And because the other obvious one here is the Amyrlin interpretation. And so that is, but I like that you're saying that, again, because she doesn't say anything about it or what it is. We don't get any more questions about that one as far as I recall. So the White Flame is left up to us. Beth, do you like the interpretation? Do you have a different interpretation other than just the flame of Tar-Valon, the Amyrlin seat, or the antithesis, if you will, of balefire?
I took it as that she's going to be the Amyrlin, because when you listen in the books and they're talking about like the shawls, all of the flames of the Aes Sedai on the back of the Aes Sedai shawls are white. They're all white flames, bracketed by the color of the Raja. So it might not, identify as the Amyrlin seat, so to speak, but it's definitely that she is going to become Aes Sedai, like without a doubt. And
Andrew's pointing out that that the same viewing, I think, it does talk about Egwene with a white flame. That's from the books too, as far as I recall. Yeah. So that is what happens in the books. Does that mean that's where they have to go with this, or that they have to use this as the same thing? Let me throw this to you, Vance. White flame. Are there any interpretations you'd think, okay, they're playing with us here? Yeah, sure, this thing's going to happen with Egwene, but the white flame actually has to do with Nynaeve?
Well, again, Beth just kind of said it can represent becoming Aes Sedai, for sure. And then other than that, I don't really know much further association with Nynaeve. I feel like that's definitely Egwene, and I'm with everyone on the main interpretation that she'll be raised to the Amyrlin seat. We obviously know that, and then I like the tie-in to her ending with literally the flame of Tar-Valon. So
sure, I guess technically, if you say
that's the name of the weave,
this double suggestion from a writing standpoint, and and then also from like an internal kind of Min's viewing perspective. Right. Norm, thank you so much for being with us, man. We have another caller about to join us, but I wanted to thank you for your time. Always good to see you, man. Any last note for our guests before we let you go?
Yeah, just real quick. There is one viewing that was in the books when Moiraine and Lanfear disappeared, and that Min mentioned that her viewings were never wrong about her, and she might have been wrong with Moiraine. Did we ever find out what that viewing was from Min about Moiraine?
And this, everyone, will be a topic of another episode of the Dust. I don't remember, but we do need to come back and actually do a Min's viewings, like unresolved Min's viewings from the books, and actually talk about them. Do like a Robert Jordan's Notes deep dive on Min's viewings.
That'd be cool.
I don't think we've done that yet, but we should. That's a fun one, just as a reminder, right? No one can track all of them. There's good lists out there, and I know Brandon made comments, and so we'll have to cover his comments on these things. So great question, but just don't have enough time to cover that one tonight, my friend. So as always, thank you so much, Norm. Cheers to you, sir. And you, dude, have a wonderful evening.
Cheers, Norm.
You see you. Bye-bye. Okay. For those of you, let's see, have answered, just about 100 of you have answered, did Min know whose baby it was? 78% of you said yes. 78%.
So you have to ask another question. Whose baby is it?
I know you would like us to ask that question. I know. How about this? Remind me at the very end, and we will throw that up there as a question. We'll end with one of those questions while we are giving away a mug. So the other poll I wanted to say was, is the white flame reference correct? Is the white flame in reference to the flame, or to, how about this? Sorry, everybody. Before it becomes a Dusty Wheel poll, the white flame references becoming Amyrlin. Let's say a weave. That's right. Something else. And relates to Nynaeve. Something else related to Egwene. There we go. The white flame references. What did Regis say?
Who is the Mari Povich of Ranland, and why is it Valen Luca?
It should be Valen Luca for sure. Let's say the white flame references becoming Amyrlin, a weave, something else related to Egwene, relates to Nynaeve. That's right, everybody. That's your latest poll. That's right. It's a night of polls. This is what we do when we do speculation and theory breakdowns. I just get a lot of fun just polling the audience. So I appreciate the 100 or so of you that are stuck around and that are enjoying this and having fun answering in chat. If you are watching this anywhere else and want to answer some of these polls or want to give us a call, you can. The call lines are still open. We'll be open for probably the next half an hour. We do have one other caller in the queue at the moment. We'll bring them in here shortly, but I want to tackle this next question, this next viewing, the Ring of Gold. I see a lot of chatter that this is an obvious reference, like we're staying very book.
Yep.
It's almost, you guys are trying to convince me that the writers care about men's viewings dealing with book-related information.
No, that can't be true. They just want to stomp on the legacy.
You're trying to convince me by telling me White Flame relates to the book, and that Yellow Eyes and the blood and the chin and Ring of Gold and Rand's baby. Wait a second, there was never, but whatever. There's a Rand's baby moment in the in the testing Teron Grail, right? So, Ring of Gold. Go to you, Vance, on this one.
Yep.
Are you going to be basic like you said at the beginning? Just give us the interpretation. You got something else up your sleeve.
I think I'm going to have to go with basic, and I mean it's very clearly Lean's ring. I did see. I think it was Koala Sedai say that the gold ring could also represent possibly the Aes Sedai ring.
Mm-hmm.
They are gold in the show instead of silver. So were they gold in the books? I think they're silver serpent eating the tail in the books.
They're gold in the books.
Are they gold? Wow, I always pictured them as silver.
They are gold in the books.
I can't even remember it correctly. So,
by the way, does anyone remember seeing Lan's? Is there anyone want to give me a timestamp on Lan's ring, or send me a screenshot out there, people?
If we got it.
Send me a screenshot if you've got a Lan's ring.
No, it's
around his neck as he's like.
It's in episode 4. Yeah.
Is it really?
Is in episode 4?
I believe when he's meditating, he puts it away. I think.
Okay, so someone want to send me a screenshot again on Twitter. If
it was either then or some other.
Some of these things I just don't have time to go.
Y'all are killing me.
To go find out.
I am a bad fan of this show. Apparently.
What are we missing in chat here, everyone? Is this when he sits down with Moiraine in the tent? Is that what you're talking about? When else does he have this ring, Vance?
I mean, you're asking me.
Is it when Nynaeve walks up on him when he's praying?
I thought it was when he was praying
or meditating or whatever you want to call it
in the morning in the woods.
Yeah, I
thought he had it out then.
Look, I'm just gonna watch the show while you guys bring up stuff.
I was just gonna say, watch his ring be platinum. And so this golden ring of everybody saying
I don't see it here yet, sir, but we'll maybe as he stands up here. Has anyone in chat said anything like, oh, it's at this part? You're my eyes and ears in chat here, everyone.
Chat. Anyone who's watched the episodes more than I have in the last few months.
Okay, so
Katie Sedai.
What did Katie say?
What if it's an Adom? Ooh. That ties back in.
Except that was already we already saw what the Adom's gonna look like in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't look like a
unless it's the
pacifier.
bracelet and we don't see. She thinks
Okay.
it's a ring, but
Bracelets can be rings.
that's what I'm saying. She thinks
Okay,
it's a
so
ring, but
we
it's a
don't
bracelet.
have. No one sent us anything. So let me go to you, Beth. Do you have a different interpretation of the gold ring?
Nope, I'm thinking it's one of the two. It's either Lan's signet ring or it's the Aes Sedai ring.
Okay. Okay. Did we see anybody else in chat? Maybe our caller. Let's bring our next caller in. Maybe they have something less basic than the ideas you guys have come up with. Maybe that's the
Less basic.
Okay, let me welcome them to the show. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
It's Village Mattress.
Village Mattress. This is a live call and talk show. Thank you very
Chris.
much for taking advantage of that, sir. How are you doing, and what would you like to share to our current conversation?
I'm doing well. If it had been rings instead of ring, it could have been the Teron Grail for the accepted test, but it was ring singular. And then, is this the extent of the viewings in the show, or are there more that we have yet to reveal?
There are more. There are more for us to go over.
Okay,
sir.
Because I had a thought that, because Barney was in the last couple episodes, what was cut that would have been his scene, and that's something you can talk about later if you want to do the other viewings.
When you say what was his, like what would have been his viewing, basically?
Yeah, there would have been a viewing by men of Matt.
Oh, gotcha. Because
What
Matt
would
was
have
sitting
that
there.
been?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I would imagine it would have been like a dagger, right? Or would that have been too obvious?
Probably.
Maybe it would have been like, maybe instead of a dagger, it would have been like a banner or a
The
red hand.
Ashidari or the Ashidari.
Yeah. Right.
Or what she actually saw in the book.
Or
The eye
bloody
in the
die.
scale.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
given the eye and the scales. Yeah, that's a yeah.
that would have
that's
been awesome. That would have been amazing. I'm not gonna lie. That would have been.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. So that's somewhat disappointing, if you will. Let me end this poll, Village Mattress, while you are here. Did we get 100 to vote on this one? Yeah, 104 of you voted. Thank you. The White Flame references 81%. Pretty sure this is becoming Amyrlin. And there's a 7, 10, 2 related to some other things there. Not surprised. Village Mattress, do you think this Ring of Gold is just what we all believe it is from the books? And it refers
I
to
think
Nynaeve?
it's Lan's ring.
Okay.
I think it's got to be Lan's ring, and
Yeah.
I think it'll be revealed in the show this year if we can't come up with a clip from it last year. It might be a still that they'll drop on a What Wednesday.
You think they'll actually? Do you think we're
picture
actually going to get
of Lan's ring?
That's what we should ask out there. Is do you think we're ever going to get any of those little? We did obviously get a first look of Varan, so they're clearly making these little cuts. I mean, I guess they could have just spit one out for the BBC. They're like, give us something, and somebody authorized that one. My guess is there's got to be some of these that they'll start releasing, kind of like they did. I don't know if you all remember. It was like October when all of a sudden we started just getting, for like the last 4 weeks, there were just little trailer teaser kind of things that were dropping everywhere, like randomly, sometimes on random websites. People would be like, I was just on Reddit, and up in the banner there was like a new scene that I hadn't seen before. So
Yeah, we spent like 5 hours analyzing Matt's dagger when they dropped that clip.
Oh, Miss Sarah James just asked a good question.
the what is around Lan's neck in the season 2 sneak peek when he's shirtless? I don't think so. I think y'all just want to see who doesn't. Daniel Henney shirtless.
I mean,
Shirtless, yeah. I mean, come on.
I object. I object.
You object? Yeah, let's not watch
wholeheartedly.
that again. I agree. That'd be crazy. It doesn't seem. I've been waiting for someone to send me something on Twitter. I don't see anything here. None of you have found or gone out there and looked. So you're gonna make me do the work to go try to find this ring. Afterwards, maybe we'll go and see if we can't kind of confirm that one.
Well, Steve is the ring bearer, so you got to find Steve before you find the ring.
That's right. No, Steve is the leg bearer. That's right. Steve is the leg bearer for Loyal. That's what happens. He keeps Loyal upright. Okay, Village Mattress, we'll let you stick around here for the next one here, and let's see this next piece of the this initial viewings.
And the girls?
White flame. And a ring of gold. I don't know. But they're all linked, all four of them.
Is that unusual?
Very. I see sparks of light trying to fill the shadows, and the shadows trying to swallow the sparks. For what it's worth, they're all very clear visions. Usually the more important something is to the pattern, the clearer the vision.
Okay, there we go. The whole concept of sparks of light trying to fill the shadows and the shadows trying to swallow the sparks. Beth, let me go to you first, then we'll go to Village Mattress on this. Does this one sound familiar to you? And if so,
straight out of the book. Straight out of the book.
You think this is directly the same exact interpretation that we get from the books is what we see here?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Is this how you envisioned it? Like, I was trying to think when I saw this, I was like, oh, I don't know how I saw it. Vance, how did you see this when you're reading the books?
I mean,
was this it? I think I saw more shadow.
Yeah, it wasn't quite like this. I definitely, when I actually pictured what Min was seeing to be a bit more energetic around them all, and like, especially because she there's no sound. They don't have to have sound effects for that in the books, right? Like, so there's no sound, but she's seeing like just ridiculous like explosions of color and light, as well as like the shadow elements like swallowing it up wherever they happen, but then another one pops up. It was kind of how I did it, almost like fireworks against the black of night, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I think, and this is one of those that from a viewing standpoint, maybe we see it a little bit later in season 2 and season 3, and it gets a little bit more dramatic, if you will, in how it kind of displays. Like, this maybe feels a little, like, I felt like it's like, I don't know, shadows and swallowing sparks. Yep. I kind of assumed a little bit more drama in.
They felt like fireflies to me. They did not
little
feel
fireflies. Yeah,
like...
well, you get that. Don't you
little
get that
embers,
with Rand? Isn't that what it's called? Isn't that what they say?
Floating.
Fireflies with Rand when he actually has there's a viewing, I thought, with Min.
Possibly, I don't remember, but I always expected it to be almost like a black hole swallowing stars. That's what I kind of pictured it in my head when I would read the vision, something really immense. And I found that vision on the show a little underwhelming, honestly.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it is fireflies consumed in darkness. I think this one related. I thought it was just related to Rand. So you have fireflies consumed in darkness. So yeah, the whole sparks versus like, maybe it's just the visual of like fireflies. It's more much than sparks and shadows. Village Mattress, for this one, do you just directly interpret this from the books itself, or do you think that they're doing something different?
Yes, directly. And I agree with everybody. It should have been a more vivid vision. It was somewhat muted. So I agree with that assessment, that there should have been more going on and you know, a little bit more intense. So
yeah, and maybe again they're
definitely
kind of
the light
starting us off.
It's definitely
less
the light,
intense.
Yeah, the light fighting the shadow and the shadow fighting the light. You know, it should have been a little more than what we saw.
And maybe once we get Matt in there, maybe the idea, like, you know, you put Matt in that group and it would be even more intense, right? As time goes by too. So, well, so these were a little bit underwhelming in the sense of, from book readers' perspective, we're like, okay, these last 3 seem pretty directly tied into what we anticipate's happening in the books themselves. Village Mattress, any final thoughts? We have someone else waiting to jump on. Anything else you wanted to share with this group before we let you go tonight?
No, great show. Thanks for having me on, and I'm enjoying this very much. Thanks for having a great Wednesday for us to watch. So
yeah, absolutely. These are fun.
Take care.
We'll do some season 2 prep. This is kind of like a season 2 prep show. We'll do more of these, going back and reminding ourselves where things were at. Just some interesting theories have come. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying it, and we'll see you back in chat. Thanks, Village Mattress. Talk to you soon. Okay.
Bye, Chris.
All right, take care.
Bye, Chris.
Bye.
All right. We do have one other caller waiting for us. Let me look at the next one. Have I missed anything in chat that we need to discuss? Anyone?
Rolling back through.
I'm going to answer this poll. 101 of you. Again, thank you for those 100 of you that are in chat, kind of answering questions with us. It's a blast to have you guys here. We're just chilling out on a Wednesday, and that's what's a lot of fun, at least in my mind. So let's end this one. Is the Ring of Gold Lands ring 90%? Yep, say it is. We'll call these. Is the sparks swallowed by shadow directly related to the same in the books? Yes or no? Okay, cool. We'll put that poll up there. The let's watch the rest of this scene because there is one here that is not in the books, everyone. And this one, I'm interested to see what you're all going to say on this one. Revisiting this for what could be season 2, season 3 implications potentially. So here we go.
Sparks. For what it's worth, they're all very clear visions. Usually the more important summon is to the pattern, the clearer the vision.
Is any vision stronger than the others?
Not particularly.
She's lying.
Another. Oh, she sipped, didn't she?
Yep.
She did.
She did.
Yes.
And she's pouring another drink.
But she doesn't sip,
Kept
does
me
she?
like that. I see the Amyrlin seat, and she's wearing full regalia, and she's going to be your downfall.
Boom. Okay. By the way, she did sip again.
Yep.
She did.
We are. It's me and Min here, which this should be a surprise. Min's one of my favorites. Like here, so this sip thing is I'm loving this. So here we go,
For what
everybody.
it's
Again.
worth, they're all very clear visions. Usually the more important summon is to the pattern, the clearer the vision.
Here comes the
Is
sip.
any vision stronger than the others?
Not particularly.
Liar.
And then she cuts her eyes over too.
She almost
Right
does it
after-
again, and then she
boom.
kind of comes at her like, "Don't
Yeah.
be lying to me."
Don't look
And
at
you can
me
tell
like
she's
that.
seeing a vision right now. Like, because if
see
you
the
go
Amyrlin
back,
seat,
she has
and
light
she's wearing
reflecting on
full
her.
regalia.
Like, she's seeing another vision from
She's
right
going
there.
to be your downfall.
There it is, everybody. Okay,
Yep.
There's a lot to talk about right here. The sips. I think we're gonna be watching for that in the rest of the season here. Min sips. Hashtag Min sips. Sister sips. I love it. This is I can't believe. I know people probably brought this up. I don't know why I didn't like glob onto this back when this was happening. But let's talk about this. She has that moment. Moiraine looks at her, and she's like, "Fine, I'll tell you what I'm seeing." Basically, she says, "The Amyrlin seat in full regalia. She's going to be your downfall." Let's talk full regalia.
Mhm.
Are we talking season 2? Like, Beth, do you think that this is a season 2 reference of that kind of teaser that we got, where you see the Amyrlin kind of walk out? She's got the headdress kind of like on. Do you think that is there a reference? I didn't look up full regalia when it came to the Wheel of Time text. Does it ever talk about the Amyrlin in full regalia?
I don't think so. But how do we know it's actually Swan? Because she just says the Amyrlin seat. How do we know that it's one Swan sitting on the Amyrlin seat? How do we know it's not another Amyrlin seat?
That's yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The Amyrlin seat. No, that's true. By the way, the stole of the Amyrlin seat is one of the symbolic items of regalia worn by the Amyrlin seat. So,
Which makes sense.
so the stole, one would say, well, again, if you go with they did this well and they did their research, full regalia would suggest that she sees the Amyrlin seat wearing the stole. Of the Amyrlin seat.
So that makes me ask the question: when Moiraine is presented in the White Tower, and we see the way that they did the 7 colors of the object was very subtle.
Yep.
Was that a stole? I didn't get the impression that that was actually a stole.
I got the impression that it was, as in that they were using some kind of creative, like she changes this and she wears the stole, but it's like it's sometimes embedded in like the dress that she wears. I want to say that Rafe mentioned something, or the costume.
So I mean,
mentioned
definitely you could
something,
tell it was representative of her
Right.
station. But was that like, like King Charles just got coronated, right? That was full regalia. We're never going to see him really wearing all of that stuff again. So would Suwan have a pomp and circumstance actual stole that she would wear, or the Amyrlin, whoever in that station was, full dress that's less understated and more a symbol of authority that for Aes Sedai
definitely-
Matters, because that was for Aes Sedai Matters.
Yeah.
So we need to go look at that shot of season 2 again.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting
Lanfear
that
to become
coach.
Amyrlin. Confirmed. Yes, correct. Thank you.
Good job,
Rajesh.
Rajesh. Yes, I like it.
Sowing chaos
yeah.
as usual.
This
I
one,
love
again,
it.
this one does not have a direct reference other than we can think to ourselves, okay, Regalia the Stole. Like you said, this could be that, like, she sees that another Amyrlin is coming, right? And that the Amyrlin's going to be your downfall. She doesn't give us necessarily the chronological order of those two events. She's seeing things. So she could be saying the Amyrlin's going to be your downfall and there's going to be a new Amyrlin, right? Like the Amyrlin in full regalia could be the idea that a new Amyrlin is being selected, right? So I think it's fair to say this, right? This could relate to Elida, right? And Elida being Moraine's downfall, or Swan being Moraine's downfall, or Egwene being Moraine's downfall. So to you, Vance, answer this question. What do you think is the most likely interpretation of this viewing? Which of those three?
All right. So I think actually she's not saying you as in Moiraine herself, but she's saying you as in the Aes Sedai.
Oh, collective you.
Collective.
I don't
you.
know that does Min have viewings of.
I don't know.
Oh no, I think so, because Min sees, like, when she walks into the White Tower, she's like, oh my gosh, that person's gonna die. That person's gonna die. Does she see something where she goes, that person's going to die because they're an attack? Does she like?
She does see in
Sometimes
the
she
beginning
does.
of TDR that is a tinker lady that
The
came
tinker
in.
who gets killed.
Who gets
blood on
killed.
her face.
But does she know like who is?
But she
going
didn't
to
know
be...
when it was going to happen.
She didn't know specifically when it was going to happen or who did it, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. They have a lot of license to play with men's viewings though, because it was not a well-developed concept in the books. So
okay, let's ask the. We're gonna poll our audience. We're gonna get into a caller in. There's so many questions to answer about this one.
Yeah.
Is the spark swallowed by shadow directly related to the same in the books? 92% say yes. Okay. Here we go. Then we're going to ask this question, everyone. Is your directed at Moraine's downfall? We'll say yes, no. It's the downfall of the Aes Sedai downfall. And then we'll say no, something else. Someone else. No, that doesn't make any sense. We'll just say no, something else. Okay. Is your directed at Moraine's downfall? No. Yes. No. It's the Aes Sedai downfall. No. Some other downfall. Someone else's. Something else's. Someone else's downfall. That doesn't make any sense. We're just gonna say yes or no. That's what we're going to do. I can't come up with a good. Okay, is your directed at Dave's job? Let's just ask everybody that. While we do that, let's bring our caller in. Let's try to see if we can't get them involved in helping us parse what is a complicated idea or potentially complicated idea. So let's welcome our next guest. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
It's Innkeeper Honest.
Innkeeper, how are you doing? How you doing, man?
Good. So I had a question. So I'm going to ask that at the end. You have wonderful guests. I don't want to take too much time.
Okay. Okay.
But I think it's Swan, who's the Amyrlin in question here, and it's the fact that people will find out that Swan's been working with Moiraine, and that will lead to Moraine's downfall. So Swan's gonna just get caught, and that's the downfall they're talking about.
So I think that is the kind of most straightforward interpretation of what we know directly from the books themselves. So I think that is very likely, especially because of what you see, how Rafe sets up this idea that Moraine's, people have talked about this. Rafe talked about that there was more meaning to that bond that they had. So the question I have is there any way that whatever that bond was, like, she's already led to her downfall because of that bond itself? In other words, it's already in play. Yeah. And that it's directly tied to whatever happened on the Oath Rod.
Oh, that's
Possible.
How do you tie that in? Yeah, I think this is a question that Vance and Beth can answer really well.
Before we move on to answer that question, I do want to point out that what Anna said does tie into my interpretation of the thing. Just FYI, same road, different different lanes, but anyway, I think also like a lot of folks have actually brought up that Moiraine's already exiled from the tower as well, and that happened. So I don't know, like she's already been exiled. So what further downfall can an Aes Sedai have is kind of the question, right?
Well, I mean, I think Moiraine's pretty much at rock bottom at the end of season one, right? Like even with Ishi. Even more than being exiled from the tower. Right. She was already absent from the tower anyway. Moiraine didn't want to stay in the tower. She didn't want to be there.
But we got to figure out what kind of downfall would that be if it's for Moiraine specifically, right?
Okay, let's start breaking that down next, which is, what is that? Innkeeper, Anas, do you want to tell us what you think the downfall is for Moiraine? Like, what is Min seeing? If Min interpret it, this is one of those moments where you're like, Moiraine should have said, "What's downfall mean?" But what is this in reference to? Moraine's downfall is what?
I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What's worse than like losing the one power, and that's already happened. So if Min was, saying that's what Moraine's downfall was, then going to the Eye of the World was Swan's idea, and that led to Moraine's downfall, i.e. losing the one power.
Okay.
But if it's not related to that, if it's something in season 2, then it's basically losing Rand or losing the battle for the Dragon Reborn. And it's hard to, like, how do you tie that into what happens in the book? I mean, Moiraine, basically the doorway scene happens, and how do we tie in an Amyrlin to that? I just can't figure that out. They can maybe, but it's all Lanfear in the docks, so it'd be weird how Swan or Elida or Egwene gets involved.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that I'm of the belief that downfall has to be something beyond what we see at the end of episode 1, because maybe that's like the beginning of the downfall. Like maybe it is tied to it, but the downfall feels like there has to be a deeper low than just shielded by a Shamael, right?
Like Lanfear is Elida. They get rid of she uses the mask of mirrors on herself and totally infiltrates and try. I don't know. It's totally, that just came to me.
So now we're making
I mean, but
now we're making a lot of assumptions based upon character composites and storyline collapsing.
Say it.
I think logically, I think it can make sense to streamline some plots and cut out some characters who, can be combined. So, but like that's a whole episode by itself now, already right there.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask this to everybody after this. Innkeeper, thank you very much for calling, man, and good luck next week talking about Mira Sayal's career. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I love the Becoming episodes. I think you're gonna love them too. So, looking forward to that one, man. Talk to you soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Bye. Good night. All right, everyone. Thank you for calling in. That's the end of our calls for tonight. That's right. We're going to finish up here with a couple of questions and ideas. There's still a little bit more we have to talk about. There's like at least one more that really needs to be discussed, and it relates to Rand. We'll be watching that here shortly. But I don't feel like we're done here just yet, which is, has the downfall already happened? What else could be the downfall? I think you have to say death, right? Mm-hmm. Death, maybe downfall doesn't reference death, but it's like, would you go ahead, if you were running the show, would you just kill Moiraine?
No.
That's boring.
No. I wouldn't just kill Moiraine.
How about you, Vance? Would you kill Moiraine off, or would you leave it to be, I guess, an unknown?
So the thing is I've watched all your notes episodes, and I know from the notes on Moiraine that he always intended to have her go down to a cave and come back. So I do not want her to just die, because that is not part of the original vision. And I do like that. I know they have to change certain things for TV, but I do like how much of RJ's original visions, intent, and themes that they are preserving as they move forward with the show. And I understand that there's logistical challenges and stuff, but I mean, I'm telling y'all, Rosamund's like on board with the Wheel of Time. She clearly loves this series.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And she would make the time to come back. If she had to take a 2 or 3 year break from the show, she would make the arrangements to make that happen beforehand, and she would schedule around it. Because I just don't see how she wouldn't. She's narrated 2 books now.
3.
3. Okay, you do not do that.
Released.
Has she done 3?
Yeah,
I think she did. Dragon Reborn. It just hasn't been released yet.
Wow.
Okay.
You don't just do that if you don't love it, right? Like if it's just a paycheck, like would you sit down and do that really? I mean, they can't be paying her that much for those audiobooks. I'm sure it's a lot, but it's probably not like, So.
Okay, we have another question. Is your directed at Moraine's downfall? 74% believe it is. So this is the other question I have then. Is her downfall yet to come? Yes.
That's a good way to put it.
No. I'll just say yes, and then how about yes, it has begun, and we'll say no. No, it already happened. Okay, let's see how people feel about that. Excellent. And the next one we'll cover is the last one. I don't think there's anything left here. She walks away from Moiraine, and it just kind of smashes to black, basically. And let's go to our second viewing here, everyone. That's right. This one actually has to do with Rand at the... We're going to probably watch this whole little segment here. It's a useful one. Well, I don't know. We're kind of at the time. She kind of does this whole thing. We can talk later about the whole, like, she already saw a viewing with his father, and then she, like, knew, I think, basically it was him. And that baby was something impossible. Okay. So then, here we go. We'll play it here, everybody. Rand brooding at Min here.
What do you see now? Why you look at me?
Rainbows and carnivals and 3 beautiful women.
Rainbows and carnivals and 3 beautiful women. There you go, everybody. Yep. That's a good segue here. Beth, you're first up. Rainbows and carnivals and 3 beautiful women.
Okay, so I think rainbows are the Ajas of the Aes Sedai, maybe.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Carnivals, maybe they're going to integrate Brandon with Valaluka's menagerie instead of other characters. I don't know.
there is a carnival in Kyrian with a bunch of Trolloc puppets going around.
True. Carnivals. So like lots of carnivals.
I'm glad to know that Min thinks very highly of herself. 3 beautiful women. Glad she's rocking the self-esteem.
Yeah.
I agree. So rainbows, let's tackle rainbows because it feels like it has the least clear idea, perhaps. Do you think Avance's references maybe, if not, it's not related to Aes Sedai? Is it related to like the last battle and maybe the whole like twice downs the day potentially. I don't know.
Or
or like the land being one with the dragon and the dragon being one with the land.
I do think it ties into pretty much all of that with Rand. Actually, I mean, I'm not saying like obviously she's being a little sarcastic, but clearly she sees a bunch of flashing lights and colors around Rand at this point. We know that as well from the books. That he's pretty much just a walking explosion of visions around anything he touches, especially as his Taviran powers continue to grow and affect the world around him. So I think it's just all of that wrapped up into her sarcasm. You know, only men can deliver something that intense and important. That sarcastically, which is why we love her.
I'm like tracking as you're saying, and then like looking at this, like
oh my god,
rain in the waste. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Oh, Beth, did we lose Beth? No, Beth,
come back.
Beth, that's actually like, you're back.
She's back.
You're back. You're here.
I'm here. I was just say there's so many good comments in chat right now of like stuff that I didn't even like think of.
Yeah, carnivals, the Trolloc attack and Kyrian. So definitely rainbows forming over Iridian when he makes it rain there on a sunny day. So
or the rainbows, the colors that they see when they think of each other in the later books. Someone
brought
that up.
Sure.
That's
connection.
Koala said I brought that up. Yeah, that's like really good stuff.
Good call. Yep.
Yeah, I think rainbows. Any other rainbow idea that you want to tackle before we move on to the other parts of that? Anyone in the chat have any ideas for rainbows? I'm like sending myself, by the way, as we wait on this. A tweet I want to bring up in relation to some of the other visions that he had, and see if we think that the show is going to take a different twist to maybe one of these visions. Anyone in chat giving us a better bubble of evil? Interesting. Winter Lady said, "Can you please play that again, Matt? Yosha is so darn good." I would agree with that. It's something I didn't focus on, I don't think, as much during the actual season itself. Again, I think I told you guys all this. It was when Mash of the Deck did that video of like piecing together all of those pieces of this journey. So we can watch that one more time here. His Yosha is pretty great in this segment.
That baby was something impossible.
What do you see now? When you look at me?
Rainbows and carnivals and 3 beautiful women.
I like it. Yeah. Okay. So, by the way, do either of you have a strict out here, or do you have another 10 minutes for us to finish up?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Good. Okay, everybody. Thanks for sticking around and enjoying this. Let's look at it. We got 108 of you have voted on this one. Hey, that's more than our normal.
We're going up.
Is the downfall yet to come? 55% say yes, and yes, it has begun. So just basically 93% of you have said that yes, her downfall is yet to come. I like this idea, the Bowl of the Winds plot. What do you think? Ooh. Rainbows related to the Bowl of the Winds plot. I love that idea. Nice job, Andrew Dash. That's a good one. Let's ask that. Rainbows relate to, let's see, Bowl of the Winds. End of the last battle. What else did we come up with here? Weaves, basically. Weaves and the 1 power. And was there one other one that you guys remember stood out as an option?
I like that one of when they have the visions of each other, when they see each other in their head. That
Taviran visions, basically?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. That's right. You have to pick one of these. That's how it works, everyone. I like... I saw Noman Garda said, "Why does Matt see different numbers than we do?" I don't see the final produced number until I click end poll. And so sometimes the numbers like switch depending if someone voted or if it rounds down or rounds up. So, nice Beautiful dog.
Thank you. He's my boy.
So the other one I wanted to cover here, while everyone answers that question, is that we did get this answer from Rafe. When we think of 3 beautiful women. Does everyone recall this answer from Rafe? I'll put this up on screen. Here you go. Said, Rafe, will Rand's romance plot remain close to the books? I mean, liking one girl at the first, but ending up with 3 in the end. Rafe said no.
Yep.
In
I do not
2018.
remember that.
Well,
and then he said,
yes,
he said, let's just say I'm more interested in polyamory than polygamy, and maybe just give me a little bit more credit than assuming I'm going to gut that entire story and ruin everything off of a one-word answer. Okay. Okay. And then he winks. However, he said that I'm going to gut that entire story and ruin everything. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say he is going to gut some of it. That's when he said no, and he's going to gut some of it. So we see 3 beautiful women related to Rand. With that answer, Beth, do you believe the 3 beautiful women referenced in this viewing are the same 3 beautiful women you might think of from the books? Or do you think maybe one of them might be Lanfear, for example?
Well, no, absolutely 100%. Reading that makes me think that, especially his whole thing about polyamory versus polygamy.
Yeah.
They're jumping on board with the Avi and Elaine shipping. And the 3rd woman is Lanfear, maybe. Maybe Min and Rand aren't going to be a thing in the series. I don't know that I like that answer, so to speak, but it's entirely possible that, I mean, it would be very plausible if based on Rafe's answer from, what, 5 years ago now at this point? Or
yeah, it's weird.
That is 5 years ago.
That's right. We're pulling those quotes back. Soon it'll be like 7. We'll get to season like 4. It'll be like 10 years ago. Rafe said. Vance, what do you think after reading those answers and Min's viewing of 3 beautiful women? Do you think the 3 beautiful women being referenced are the ones in the book that we would expect, or are they different?
I believe it's the same 3 beautiful women as referenced and found in the books. I do believe the relationship dynamics will be quite a bit different with Rafe at the helm, as well as all of the talented writers that they have. And I think that that's one area that is really, honestly, I mean, you've even joked about this, like Rand's relationship with like the 3 girls is totally uneven. He and Elaine are like the bestest pen pals in the world, you know, and it's just.
I have made comments about this relationship, so
so I mean, his obviously Min is his deepest relationship, and then Avienda comes a distant second, and then Elaine is like way far back in 3rd. So yeah, I would like to see improvements made to that, and you know, I'm definitely open to the future interpretations of what that will look like, you know, with this new turning of the wheel.
Do you like this answer from Innkeeper on us? Celine, Lanfear,
yes,
and
perfect.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
That's the 3 beautiful women right there. That's it. I'm wrong. Listen to us, everybody.
Okay, so
Vance is wrong. Honest is right.
Just about 100 voted this last poll. I'm going to end this one. Rainbows relate to. Sorry, the waste idea would have been a good one to put in here. Bold wins 9%. End of the last battle 12%. Weaves and One Power 34%, and 44% to Viren Visions is what people connect that one to. So that's a good call. So I got to ask this one, everyone. Does the 3 beautiful women reference have to do with the same 3 in the books? Yes or no? There you go. Let's ask that. That was a good one. I wanted to show that one. Again, some of these, like Yellow Eyes, seem pretty on point. Or Gold Ring. Okay, that seems. Or Sparks and Shadows. But some of these could have interesting implications, just like what Rafe said here 5 years ago, to how they might be changing things up. And so you can see it's where they're making changes. I can see them making viewing changes also, but sometimes maybe doing callbacks to a viewing, but it's just different, if you will, the final interpretation. So some of these we don't know for sure. And hopefully we'll see we should see some of these start to, boil up in season 2 and season 3, if not come to fruition.
Hopefully.
Okay.
It's going to be a long 22 years,
right?
if not.
He does ask very at the end, like, so do I survive the Eye of the World? I think we needed to tackle that one because she doesn't really say anything. She just says nothing. There is one other time where she says, you might want to get up from your seat to the guy sitting at the bar, because in episode 8, I think it's Loyal, Perrin, Egwene, and Nynaeve come in. And they just show, like, Nynaeve looks like she's like she died from episode 8. I don't remember. Did they show anything with Egwene that was somehow... I don't recall, but why don't we go? We have to look. We're doing the show. We should do it right and just verify that we didn't miss it. So let's double check this. I think this is a really funny scene here. So enjoy, everyone.
Haji, you're gonna want to move. We need some answers. Fancy a drink first?
It's not even noon yet.
You're the one in the bar.
What did you tell Moiraine about Rand?
People's secrets are their business, no one else's.
Can't you at least tell us if he's going to be all right?
It's not how it works, I'm afraid. All I know is that everything I've ever seen, the best things and the worst, they've all come true eventually.
What is it?
There we go.
Yep,
I don't remember anything other than 90s. I don't wanted to verify that it wasn't also, she didn't see something with Egwene. I didn't notice anything. Did you guys notice any kind of additional thing?
No, I didn't notice anything different.
I saw flickering of lights, but I think that was the sun. I don't think that was actually a vision. I think it was just the outdoors.
There we go. We covered all that I was aware of. If I missed one, well, we'll cover it again. Let me do this last poll referring to men's viewings, guys. But we're going to do a raffle for a mug here and get my final thoughts from my guests, show you a quick parody, and then do a final poll that I'm going to be reminded of from Beth do be giving me that poll at the very end. And
yes.
we do be putting it up for Beth. Does the three beautiful women...
I do be appreciating it.
Thank you. You do be... Welcome. Does the Three Beautiful Women reference have to do with the same three in the books? 91% say yes. I'm in the 9% on that one. Then again, I think I see foxes on that symbol, so I get that sometimes you think I'm going out on a limb, and I am, because it's fun sometimes to go out on that limb. Let me do this. Okay, let's see if this works, everyone. Taylor set me up here. He even came back when I texted him as he was leaving to remind me how to get to this page, but I think I'm there. And we're going to do a giveaway here. Let's see. Make sure I start the right giveaway. I think we started calling these Dusty Swag giveaways. That's right. The thing my fellow Innkeeper likes to tease me about. But we're going to start a Dusty Swag giveaway. So let me start this one up and hope that this works. Let's cross your fingers, everybody. Let's make sure that hopefully see something in chat that does the giveaway. Oh, it does say a Dusty Swag giveaway has been started.
It does.
Exclamation point raffle is what you need to enter. And let's hope that we'll actually see this working. So it does look like it is gaining. Only enter once. If you're new around here, only enter once. It says a Dusty Swag raffle. Why? Because my Zazzle account is kind of messed up. That is to say, I struggle to send the drop ship these to individuals. So I've started sending out a gift certificate. That's the equivalent of the money I would have spent on your mug. Mm-hmm. And you can actually buy the mug that you would like. Or you can buy a shirt. Or you can buy a Barside Chats mug. You can kind of choose, right? Mm-hmm. So that is the fun. If you happen to win a raffle when my fellow Innkeeper is doing it, you will get a mug. And so either way, you're going to get the opportunity to buy one or be sent one. So only enter once. If you start entering twice or three times, our mods get kind of understandably upset and may kick you out. And so you won't even know if you won the mug. So don't do that. While we let people enter this mug, I want to play a little something for you that our good friend Koala Sedai made for us, having to do with Min. This is a lot of fun, everybody. If you are familiar with our show called What Idol. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Don't start without me there, YouTube. So here you go. Enjoy a little What Idol song parody having to do with Min, and we'll come together on the last and end this thing and pick a winner.
I have to get up every morning, seeing visions out there. I know that they will come true every time. And people think they want to hear them, but they find, yes they do. It's best not to know anything. The very first vision I saw baby blood and snow, and I knew that that baby was impossible. Ever since that day I just see viewings of the pattern, and yet no one else sees, and why do I? And then I got up this one morning with Moiraine at the bar, demanding that I read this for kids. Yellow eyes and blood on her chin, a white flame and a ring of gold, and there are sparks around them. I can see the redhead standing in his arms, a baby, and I see in his eyes that his heart is stirred. I see rainbows, carnivals, and 3 beautiful women, and then I see the eye of the world. And now I got up the next morning after seeing so much and know for real trouble's coming here soon. So I'm getting on a wagon, I'm gonna leave, yes I am. But you know that you see me again. I see the Amyrlin seat, and she's wearing full regalia, and she's going to be your downfall.
There it is, everyone. Do go over and subscribe if you want to put Koala Sedai's link to this in the Koala Sedai. If you want to share it in chat, you certainly can. Do go over and subscribe. Koala, as with other fans, have really taken the spirit of this competition and live it all year long, which is so awesome. So thank you very much for all the fans out there that have kind of become hardcore fan freaks through their love of What Idol. It's a gift. It's a gift that keeps giving. So I appreciate that, everybody. So, okay, it's time. It's time, everybody. Let's end this mug. Do you have a guess, Vance? Who's going to win? Who's going to win this?
Oh my gosh, there's so many fantastic lucky contenders out there. I don't really have a guess.
No guess, huh?
Yeah, no guess. There's just there's too many people, and I don't want to pick favorites.
Okay.
They're all
no
my
guesses.
favorites.
No guesses. Here it is, everybody. Here it is. Beth, did you want to say the same thing, or do you have a guess of who might win this?
I want to win.
Okay. Here we go. Pick a winner. And the winner, it looks to be Frank Adams. Congratulations, Frank. You have won some Dusty swag. That is to say, a Dusty Boast gift certificate. If you reach out to me on Discord, there's a link in the description of this video. You can jump over there, ask around where to find me, and send me a note. You can also try to send me a note through social media. It might be a little bit difficult, but if you have Twitter, for example, and you want to send me a direct message and let me know that you are the winner, all I need is an email address. That's right. That's how easy it is for me to do these, even though I've still fallen behind on the last two that I was supposed to do. So I'll try to get all three of them done at the same time. Look, guys, I know this might surprise you. Not my day job. So I have to make time for everything plus this, and I do my best. But I will get that to you. Congratulations, Frank. Hopefully you're in chat. Has anyone seen Frank actually show that he's here? So there it is. You're welcome, Frank. Congratulations. Okay, Beth, it do be this moment. What do be the final poll of the night before we say goodnight to everyone?
The final poll do be,
Yes.
do that baby be Min's baby?
Do that baby be Min's baby? Yes or no? There it is, everyone. Okay, while everyone votes in this poll, final thoughts before you two, and we will end in just about 3 minutes. So to you, Vance, final thoughts, Min's viewings, season 2 coming. Are you looking forward to one particular viewing? And are you looking to future viewings? Are you looking forward to seeing them kind of build on this concept of Min's viewings? What is your thought?
So I am looking forward to a future viewing of Min's, and I cannot wait till Min meets Matt, because I want to see what they're going to do with Matt's viewings. I know everyone's probably excited about that. Barney leaving the show at the end of season 1 just really was kind of a heartbreaking moment for everybody. And I just want to see what they're going to do. I want to see how close to the books they're going to make it. And I want to know if that'll give us a clue if they're going to change anything about Matt's storyline. So.
Yeah, I think looking forward to Min meeting Matt is a great. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome. How about you, Beth? What do you be thinking about today's show and Min's viewings and the upcoming season?
First of all, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
It's been a lot of fun. I really am looking forward to it. I want to see, because we know that Min's aunts, at least one of her aunts, was cast in season 2. So, and isn't she from Tarvalin in the show? Didn't they say that she was?
Yeah, I think they did. Yep.
So I will be very interested to see how they're going to incorporate Min into everything. And it would be excellent if she comes across Matt in Tarvalin in a town. She's a barkeep in Tarvalin in some random pub, and Matt walks in and she knows who he is instantly. Like, I could just totally picture that happening. And she's like, dude, why are you here? Or something, I would love it. I would love it to see a friendship strike up between the two of them or something, or,
I agree. Beth, it seems, by the way, yeah, I agree with this comment. No jitters or anything. You seemed so kind of smoothly integrated into the show. Hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you will be willing to come back.
I had a blast.
This year again. We're going to be doing lots of shows as we get closer and closer and actually get the season 2. Season 2, we're going to continue doing the after shows, everyone, that we were doing before. I think we were doing like 3 shows a week. It was crazy. We're doing our Wednesday show, our Thursday show, at least 2, if not 3. And we might try something new this year, which is to do a live watch along.
Love it.
When they're going, and then do the after show afterwards. For those of you that are like, actually, I just want to be in chat with people and talk about things that we're seeing in the midst of actually watching the show together. So I think we're going to try to do that and see how that works out.
That'd be cool.
So,
that'd be
guys,
really cool. Like a big group react.
You all spent like 2.5 hours with us tonight. Really appreciate that. It was a fun Wednesday. I think the next time I'm back, we might be doing... It's either the show about the Warder Bond, which I think is relevant to season 2, and the books. That'll be like a books show mix show. And we're also going to be talking about the Horn and how the Horn and the prophecies relate to season 2. How do we think it's going to all come about, considering how it changed a bit in season 1? So we'll be talking about all those details. Just a little bit, yeah. Just under the throne a bit, right? Final poll: do that be Min's baby?
It's so close.
It is so close. Everybody that stuck around, you gave us a 52 to 47%. There's a lot of people actually there's a lot of Beth love. I don't know, like that. Min's baby is a really interesting theory, but like Min's baby, you won everybody over. So fantastic job.
I love you guys.
The love of Beth in chat is on display here. I love it. So that being said, thank you both for being here. I will get your Twitter handles, and Vance, are you still kind of posting some videos here and there? What should people expect to see next from Vance?
So the next video that I hope to post will be my Jordan Con vlog. I'm still working on it. If you follow me on Twitter, I've had a crazy few months with moving and
Life,
jobs
right?
changes and everything. Yeah, so we're renovating the house we bought a little bit as we go along. So yeah, hopefully I'll get that done along with a companion article to go with it on thegreatblight.com. So
awesome.
Speaking of which, Matt, we need to get on that 500,000 things you didn't notice in the behind the scenes trailers.
Yes. We
for the
should,
Great Blight as well.
we should definitely do that. Oh man, when do we have time to do that thing?
Right.
Oh, Innkeeper's wife is here. I think Innkeeper's wife is like, we got some show to watch at 9 p.m.
Yep.
So shoot, I forgot about that. And then like look at my text. No, okay. So I gotta let y'all go. We gotta get out of here. Beth, really quickly, tell everyone where they can find you, where they should follow you.
You can find me Sunday nights with The Way of the Leaf. I've joined their Sunday night show every Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern time on The Way of the Leaf on YouTube. And I video game stream 4 nights a week on Twitch. And my Twitch handle is twitch.tv/Beth Doman. And I'm currently playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So
awesome.
Lots of fun.
Thank you.
Lots of fun.
Well, I meet Matt, and I have to send this last one. In a Tarvalon bar. That's right. We'll do that one as we go out, answer that last poll. Thank you, everybody, and be back here next Wednesday with us to cover Becoming Varan. That's going to be a fantastic episode. Okay, as we stay around here, everyone, good night from the Dusty Wheel, and smash to black.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is
really well. And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that, and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the 2 rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm not white.
I see Nakomi as something along the lines of a Shada Haran analog.
It does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge. Yay!
Like baby face mounted on like a huge body. So like all of a sudden,
This is not just
like,
a traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
and
elements.
Just a moment ago, Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guest in here with me. And
probably, I would say, put in 70, 80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no,